Hello, this is Mandy with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is Nurture Your Database Direct Mailers. In this class, we actually go over how to create a postcard design and use the direct mailer campaigns that are available within your command, which allows you to send out postcards either to a specific targeted area based on your listing, or you can also target your database. You can use templates that are provided within the campaign itself, or you can create a custom postcard design either in Command or Canva or another third party, and also bring that in to use as well. So we'll go over all of that today. And welcome, everybody. Still got some folks coming in. This is great. And so if you're here with me live, definitely drop any questions or comments you have in the chat. I'll be happy to help get those answered for you. If not in real time, I will definitely stay a couple of minutes after class and help get those answered for you. And if you're watching this back on a recording, you can always reach out to us via email, and that email address is support at scottleroymarketing.com. All right, guys. So let's talk about a little bit of prep work before you jump right into your campaigns and creating the design or even creating the campaign itself. Before you jump into any of that, you do want to check your marketing profile in Command. The reason being is the campaign will actually pull your data from that profile and apply it to the campaign itself. So you just want to eyeball it, make sure it's all everything that you want it to be. And your marketing profile actually lives over here on the left-hand side in websites. So we're going to click websites on the left-hand side of the screen. And then right over here, let me shrink that a little bit so you can see it. Right over here under settings, you click manage settings. This is the new place for your marketing profile to live. It moved just a couple of months ago here. It used to be under your settings, but here we are. Each one of these tabs on the left-hand side, you'll just want to go through these and make sure this is the correct information for you. Each tab you click on, you'll want to make sure you check each field. And then over on the right-hand side, just make sure you click Save before traveling on to the next tab. So if you make any changes here, save, come to My Details, make any adjustments here, click Save. Okay? So just travel through each one of these tabs, make sure it's exactly like you want it to be, clicking Save after each one. And then you should be able to go right in to either creating your design or creating your campaign. And that new information should populate in that campaign for you. Okay. We do have a tip video available on our YouTube channel on how to go through your marketing profile and update each one of the fields. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to grab that tip video or reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you with it. That's about it when it comes to prep work, just eyeballing this information before you jump into campaigns. So let's go ahead and go over to the campaigns tab right here in your command. And I'll give you a general overview of what this looks like. And then we'll actually jump into creating a campaign together. We're going to do two different campaigns together. I'll show you how to use the standard provided like pre-made templates. And I'm also going to show you how to use a custom template today too, and what it looks like to target based on listing and target based on your database. So we'll go through all that before the end of class. Your campaigns tab again is right here under the bullhorn, little megaphone, whichever you call it. If you're not familiar with the icons just yet, you can always click this red KW up here in the top and it will pop the names out for you. Okay. And then once you get familiar with them, you can always click that and it'll take them back. Okay. So right here in campaigns, now we have a different class for every single type of campaign in here. For today's class, we're going to focus on direct mailers. That's this tab right here. So we're going to go ahead and give that a click. And let me just again give you some general navigation here. Up here at the top, it's pretty standard layout for command, right? They give you some quick stats here towards the top. It can be filtered by different time frames of how many direct mail campaigns you've sent out in the last time frame listed here, even lifetime. It'll show you the recipients, the leads you've gotten, and also how much you've spent. Down here is your search bar. If you want to search through the direct mail campaigns that you've created and or sent out, you can also view just the ones you've mailed, any drafts you've created, any that you've archived, and just view them all as well. You can also filter by the goal for your campaign. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see a list of all the different goals that you can choose, kind of like your reason of running the campaign, right? So if you're looking for something specific, like maybe event awareness, you can come in here and uncheck everything else to just view the ones that you've done based on an event. And that will update instantly for you. I don't know if you saw that change, but just go ahead and use these filters to find whatever you need to. Okay. Down here towards the bottom, it's a little preview of each of your campaigns. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll see your campaign name. You'll see a preview of the front of your postcard. You'll see the status. Now, these are in drafts because this is a demo account. But as you begin sending out these campaigns, let's say you go ahead, create the whole campaign, and you send it out. You've paid for it, you send it out to go. You'll see this status change to processing. The processing status may stay there for about 24 hours. So don't be alarmed. What it's doing is it's going ahead and sending out this information to start getting the postcards created. And it does take about 24 hours just to update here within command. After it's done processing, you'll actually see this show in mailed status. Over here, you'll see the date sent. It will update with the date mailed, and then you'll be able to see how many leads, how many people received it, and then a little update on your goal right here to the right. You do have 3 dots that will show you where you can edit, duplicate, or archive your campaign. Again, this is for draft, so if you've already mailed it, you won't see the option to edit it. Okay, you'll only see the option to duplicate and archive at that point. Okay, now let's go ahead and come up here to create campaign so that we can walk through creating one together. You'll choose direct mail as the type of campaign. And again, guys, feel free to drop any questions or comments in the chat as we go. Okay, just keep them coming. I'll make sure that I stay after class and get those answered for you if I don't do it in real time. Okay. And from right here, we'll just name our campaign. So we'll just say direct mailer demo and we'll put our little date. And then you can choose your goal. So for this one, we'll just say advertise a listing and click create campaign. Since we chose to advertise a listing, it will bring you to this page next. This is where you can choose the listing and it will automatically pull that information from the MLS through the KWLS and apply it onto your postcard for you if you choose the pre-made templates. Okay. Don't be alarmed when it says it doesn't find any listings and wants you to sync your MLS. While doing that is great, it is advantageous because it will make it go a little quicker next time for you because it will start pulling in your listings automatically to let you pick from them. It's not required. Okay, you can still find a listing here, so you don't have to get kind of sidetracked with trying to sync your MLS and things from this screen. If you have the time, great, do it. If you don't, it's okay. It's not required for you to get your campaign done. You can come right up here to the top and choose to search either by property address, MLS number, or listing agent. 9 out of 10 times, the MLS number is probably going to be more accurate and zero in a little faster for you, but you choose whichever information you have. And then over here on the right, you can choose which status the listing is in, as well as only your listings or all listings. So if you're advertising a listing for somebody else, you are not the listing agent, you'll just want to toggle over to show all listings. And this is kind of what it will look like when you start looking through the listings. We're going to go ahead and put our property address, our sample address up today. And you can see I did use address, so you can see quite a few came up. If I were to use the MLS number, it will probably show fewer. So when that happens, you'll just kind of want to eyeball the information you see here to make sure that this is the right listing you're looking for. Okay. This little guy right here is the one we're looking for. This matches the MLS number that I have. So then you'll choose select. Once you choose select, it brings you right here where we're going to build our campaign. On the left-hand side is where we'll enter data, and on the right-hand side is where you'll see your preview. So up here at the tippy top, you'll notice we have different sections that we have to fill out. Some already have a green check mark. We'll open them anyway just so you can see what they look like. But that means that section is done, but the ones that have an empty or white circle, those are sections you need to go ahead and open up and fill in more information. It's not quite finished yet. At any point when you're creating these campaigns, you can come right here and save this draft if you need to come back to it later. So let's go ahead and open up the first section so you can see what this shows. It's just an overview. It has the name of our campaign and the goal, but it does allow you to change both of those in case you change your mind or you get in here and you decide, oh, I chose the wrong goal, something like that. Just make sure to click save before you move on to the next section. The next section will be the listing information. Notice it went ahead and pulled in that data for us. And it's already started populating the stats from the KWLS over here on the right side of our postcard. You can toggle back and forth to see the front and the back of your card over here on the right. Okay. We'll be doing that several times to look this over as we continue to build it. And our next section is content. So go ahead and open this up. Scroll down so you can see it a little bit. So again, you can choose a default template that's already here in the direct mailer campaign. Okay, that's if this box on the left is highlighted in teal. And then you'll have different templates that you can choose from. Large modern, large contemporary. You'll see the sizes over here on the right vary from 4x6 to 6x11. Okay. On the right is where you can upload a custom template that you've created, whether it's in Command Designs, Canva, another third-party platform, and you just want to import it in or upload it in. I'm going to do that in our second campaign that we walk through. For now, let's look over the default templates right here. So on the default templates, on the right-hand side, you'll kind of see it change just a little, but you can choose the 6x9, and you see the address get a little larger here at the bottom. It may take it a second to fully upload too. Large template modern, again, you're starting to see it change. And then you can also do the contemporary version as well. Now, this will be way better when we get the actual photo of the listing up to see it. But I just wanted to make sure that you see between the different ones that you choose, it will change the preview over here on the right so you can kind of look through these. At any point, you can come back in here and just select another template if you kind of want to play around and see which layout you like better. Coming down, you'll see the listing details. Again, pulling straight from the KWLS, you'll notice listing status. You have a couple that you can choose from. You don't have to. This is actually going to be a little banner on the right-hand side for your postcard. So let's go ahead and get the photo in here, and then I'll come back up to these details so that you can really see the difference. Again, once you get the photo uploaded, it makes it a lot more visually pleasing, and then you can really decide what you want. As we come down, you have the description as well for the MLS. Notice that it will be over the character limit sometimes, like character limit is 1,000 and we have 1123 right now. Again, something you'll want to come back and tweak once you get the photo in place. Okay, once you get the photo in place and you decide on the template you want, it's a lot easier to get the other things adjusted. Which brings us to the listing photo. Now, there's a couple of ways to get the listing photo in here. You can upload an image from our device, or you can choose right from the images that came over from the MLS. So if you choose listing image, just know you're probably going to see this. It has little red exclamation points, and if you hover over it, it says low resolution. This means that the images, while they may not have been low res when you put them on the MLS, they have become low resolution by the time they went from the MLS to the KWLS to now being imported into campaigns. So this is an ongoing thing. I don't know if that's going to be remedied, changed in any way, shape, or form, or even if it can, just because of the process of the MLS feed into command at this point. So, quicker workaround, just come right here to upload image, and you can upload it from your device. So we'll just choose that and come right here and choose one of our photos. The listing photo is right here. You can always remove the image or replace it. But let's come over here to the right and actually look at our template now. So now you can see that the photo has been added to the front of the postcard here. And we can kind of come back through these details. Like for the template, we can look at it with a compact. We can choose large modern, and you get the point. So you can come through and really decide which one you're going to use. I'm going to leave it on default template for today. And if I come down, that listing status, let's say it's just listed. Notice the little banner it puts over on the right-hand side, or just sold, or coming soon. Okay. Again, you don't have to use any of these listing statuses. They're not required. It's just here if you want it. Okay. We'll leave just listed on there. Coming on down to the description, let's move back to the right, or excuse me, go to the right and look at the back of the card. So we'll go here and you can see the description on the back of the card here, along with some stats. We'll come down and let's actually make sure we trim it up to be under the required character limit. So that brings us to 971 characters. So we're under. Come back up. You can see it shorten it a little bit. If this is still too much for you or you want to change the wording, go for it. You do not have to use the description off the MLS. You can completely change it if you want to. Okay. Once you've got that handled, you can come down to your agent photo. Now, in a perfect world, this would be pulling from your marketing profile. We have seen this not pulling currently. And so right now you can click browse and pull it from your device. So we'll get Scott's headshot here and his little happy face. And then you can adjust or replace if you want. And then you make sure that your details are correct here. Again, it was pulling from the marketing profile. And by the way, this phone number, if you put your cursor in there and hit space, it'll format it right for you. Okay. All right. And then just click save for that section. It is asking us about the resolution. Again, this is probably from the agent photo, not necessarily the house photo that I uploaded. You'll just want to look at your preview before you send it. It should be fine. But we'll use image anyway, because see how little the photo ends up being. It's not like they spread it out over a large space. So low res on the agent photo, not the end of the world. But if you have any concerns, definitely use a higher res photo. Okay. All right. So on the left-hand side, we just finished our content section. So let's move on to Market Center. This will pull in your DBA logo and your Market Center information for your Market Center from your marketing profile. The one thing for some reason that it leaves off is the zip code. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up that zip code. Take a guess that it's this one and verify. So I didn't have the right zip code, but it wants you to confirm the actual address itself. So you just choose that and confirm. Now it marks your Market Center complete. Got that green check box. And that brings us to targeting. The two options again for targeting, I'm going to move this back to the, no, we'll leave the back because I want to show you something else over there. I'm getting ahead of myself. So with the targeting right here, again, two options. Local targeting, it's going to be based on your listing address, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. You can definitely put your cursor in these fields and change it to a different address. If you're wanting to target a specific area that is not necessarily the neighborhood that this listing is in, you can definitely come in here and enter a different location. Okay. You can also target your database. that will send it to contacts in your database that you have a mailing or primary address on file for. However, we're going to do that in our next campaign when we do the custom one. So for now, let's move forward with our local targeting, and I'm going to leave it as the listing address. So we'll click save, and then you have your budget. So you can sit here and manipulate both of these fields to find the price that you're kind of looking for. You can also choose whether it's standard mail or first class. So let's say we want to do first class, but that's a little high for our budget. You can come over here and adjust the number of mail outs or just use the arrows. Let's say we want to keep it under 200. So we'll keep it right there. And when you're ready, click save for this section. And don't worry, you can adjust this even further once we get over to the next section as well. Before we jump over to configuring the targeting area, let's go ahead and look at this option right here to add tracking to your postcard. So when you send out these postcards through a direct mail, you won't get a list of the exact addresses it went to. Okay. And so it makes it a little hard for follow up. If you really want to follow up with the people that received your postcards, a good thing to do is to add tracking to this. It's only available when you use the pre-made templates. So if you upload your own custom template for a postcard here, you'll want to make sure you put a QR code on that design before you upload it, because here in the direct mail campaign, it only gives you the option to add a QR code if you're using the pre-made template. So either add it yourself to your design initially and upload your design, or use the pre-made template and it will give you the QR code itself. Okay. So when we toggle on this tracking right here, we have an option to add a QR code. You choose where that QR code will send the person that scanned it. So your lead, they scan the QR code. Where do they land? Where do they go? You decide what the link is. You can choose like your website, your KW agent, or your team site. You can even choose your branded app link as well. And so you go ahead and choose whichever one you want. We'll go ahead and do our website. And the reason being is number one, it definitely helps you out to direct traffic to your KW agent site. And secondly, you have the contact me form on your website. So that's a way that you can start capturing leads from this campaign. Okay. Notice that once we chose what landing page or the location that the QR code sends them to, now when I scroll up, you'll see the little QR code added to the back of your postcard. Okay. So it goes ahead and puts it on there for you. Now we can go through with configuring our targeting. Okay. Click yes that you're sure, if you're sure. It does take it a second. And here we have our map. Let me zoom out just a little. Well, I want you guys to be able to read that left-hand side. So let me know if you need me to scroll down or show you any more. But right here is where you can see the different locations that it's going to send your postcard. The little blue dots indicate the location. If I zoom in a little bit, I want to show you the difference between the dots. Notice how like this dot has a 4 in it versus just a dot with no number. When you hover over, it will show you details about the property. And when you see a number in it, it means it's a multi-unit property. Now, you may know that building has actually 300 units in it. You don't understand why it's only sending to 4 there. It's the discretion of the Postal Service. Some people may have their, be unlisted, things like that. So that's why you may see a discrepancy between how many units it's actually delivering to versus the number of units in the building. Let's say, well, I don't want to just send it to 4 of the people in this unit. If it's a 300 unit building, you can choose to remove right here. So you'll remove it from that property and it will actually add in 4 other mail out properties to you so that you hit your number that you wanted to send out to. If you change your mind, you can hover over it again and choose restore. Okay. Over here on the left-hand side, you also have some options as well. Let me back out so you can see the area again. That's our listing with the red pen. These are the properties that it's going to mail out to. On the left-hand side, let's say, actually, it doesn't look like enough. I want to do more. You can add more, and the map will update. You can also target single family. Back out and bring it up here so you can see it. So there's all the single family properties. Or you can target multi-family units so that you can see those. And again, when you zoom in, you'll see the numbers on all the dots. The more you zoom in, we'll choose all for today. And let me back out just a little bit so you can see the options on the left-hand side. So you can sit here and target specific bedrooms, square footage, year built, year last sold for, and the price. So these last two can really help you, especially if you're actually looking to solicit listings and find those motivated sellers or potential motivated sellers. So keep that in mind. And then coming on down to the bottom, you can definitely decide again, standard mail or first class. Okay, you pick. Let's go back and move our number down to get under budget. And there we go. Okay. And so now you do have the option as well to send to your address. If you hover over this little I, it will show you it's going to send to the same address that was on your marketing profile, which is your market center address, and you'll receive a copy of the postcard as well if you want to. You don't have to. Once you've figured your targeting, you can click next. Zoom out a little bit so you can see it. And so from here, we have our preview. Left is the front, and then's the back. And you do have the option to view a larger preview. We'll pop it out over here onto a new tab so you can see it. So then you can really see the front and the back. And that line is just a discrepancy or to show, excuse me, wrong word, to distinguish between the front and the back. Okay, that doesn't print on the card itself, but here you get to see the back and the front to really eyeball and see what you want to keep. Maybe you decide this is way too much text and you want to go back and edit it. You 100% can, but this is what it'll look like. And then coming back over to your campaign and you scroll down to the bottom, this is where you decide your payment. Now, again, we chose first class. We have our postcards. It gave us our total 177 here. And there is some great information right here. If this is your first time running a campaign, it does let you know these process on the same day if you submit this before 3 p.m. on a business day. Your mailers will actually go to production that same day in a fulfillment center nearest your target area. Real Mailers is the third-party company that fulfills these and does the printing. So they are the fulfillment centers that it will go out to, and it'll start getting processed. USPS distribution, your cards will actually be inserted into the U.S. Postal Service mail stream within 2 business days. And then your estimated delivery for your mailers, your postcards, will arrive in the mailboxes to your targeted recipients, usually within 4 to 6 business days. Once the order is submitted, you will be provided a more accurate estimate. Okay. But right over here on the right-hand side is where you will go ahead and enter your payment information and complete the campaign. Okay. So that is if you use the pre-made templates and if you target based on your listing address. So let's go ahead and walk through doing one of the direct mailer campaigns using a custom template and then targeting our database. And again, you can use any third-party platform. It could be Canva, especially with the new KW Canva Enterprise accounts that give you pro access into Canva. There are fabulous postcard templates there. So you can definitely jump into that and use one of their templates. I'm going to demonstrate it to you just using Command Designs today. So just realized how far we were zoomed out for you to see that. So sorry if the text is like wee little. But over here on the left-hand side, you do have designs here let me go ahead and save our draft. So I'm going to go back. There we go. Okay. And so right here we have designs. It's a little paintbrush and a square. So I'm going to pop that out into a new tab right here. Again, paintbrush, square in your command. And in the top right, just click Create Design and choose Print. Give it just a second. You'll have free templates over here on the left-hand side to choose from. Templates, let's see. Let us go to lead generation. So maybe something that would apply to your actual database, maybe something like an event that you want to send to your database. So we'll go ahead and choose event invitations. And then we can choose the postcard size up here in the top right. Now, please know whenever you're using a custom template, you're probably going to have to resize it anyway. So just know that to get it to fit into the campaign, I'm going to show you how to do that. Um, or if you're doing it in Canva, you can actually create a custom size too. So there's that option. But I want to make sure that I show you how to resize it if you're using a custom template. So we'll go ahead and standard postcards. You have a couple of others, but I'm just going to use standard today because again, it is going to be in landscape view when it's in the campaign. So we'll just choose this one. We're not going to get heavy into editing this today. We do have other classes like Nurture Your Database Designs that will show you actually how to jump in here and edit these in detail. And we also have tech tip videos on our YouTube channel as well. They're like 5-minute videos that show you how to use this editor in detail. So just to get this done super quickly here, we'll just go ahead and say like client appreciation. Helps if you can type. There we go. And you can change the date and the time. Go ahead and spread that out a little. And again, you can totally come in here and just remember you have 2 pages to the postcard. So you can come here to the back and enter your information. Some important things to remember when you're creating a custom design. This space over here to the right needs to be left blank so that real mailers can add in that mailing address. Okay, so you need to have a space over here on the far right that stays clear. But make sure you can come here, add in your listing photos, anything like that. Make sure your headshot is on here. So we'll just choose my assets here and we'll put Scott's little photo after it uploads. We'll go ahead and edit this really quick while we're waiting. Well, it may not. There it goes. Perfect. And so you can come in here and change out the headshots, your information, your logo, all the goodies. Okay, we'll change our event name really quick. All right. Let's spread that out a little. There we go. All right. And remember, QR code. We had the option to add that tracking QR code when we use the pre-made template, but if you're going to use a custom template, you need to add your QR code onto the template itself during your design. So over here on the left-hand side, you actually have the options to add the QR code. Why am I not seeing our QR code? Interesting. So on the left-hand side, you should have the option to add a QR code right here within your design elements, in your design editor. If you don't, we can actually create a QR code for you. Um, it looks like my system is glitching out just a little bit. Our apologies for that. So on the left-hand side, you should be able to, let me make sure this is saved. There we go. There he is. Okay. Now we're getting back to it. All right. And so you can come in here and add in the QR code. If not, you can always come in and ask us at Scott Leroy Marketing, and we will be happy to go ahead and create that QR code for you. Or you can just go to a free site like QR Monkey, things like that, so that you can come in and create those QR codes. Okay. And so make sure again to leave this blank white space on the right hand side. And then once you're ready, download the images. So if you download this 2 pages at a time, it will be a file that you'll have to unzip. I'm just going to do it 1 page at a time really quick, just so that we don't have to spend time zipping. PNG is the best when it comes to images. You will want it saved as an image to be able to add it to your direct mail campaign. And so we'll download the first one, gives it a second, there it goes. And then we're going to download that second page, just so we don't have to spend time zipping the file or unzipping the file. All right. So now we have our 2 pages, page 1, page 2 of the postcard downloaded. So I'll click done. And we're going to come back to our campaign here. We're on the campaigns tab, the little megaphone on the left-hand side. Click create campaign, direct mail, name it, choose event, and create campaign. All right. And so from here again, you'll have the same sections on the left-hand side and your preview on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and go into content and choose upload a custom template. Now, gives you a lot of great details in here. Make sure you come and read this, especially it's your first time doing this. But right here are the sizes that your custom template needs to be. So let's say we want to send out the 6x9 postcard. It tells you the width and height that it needs to be. So we're actually going to come over here to imageresizer.com. This is a free resizer website. And we'll go ahead and upload our images. Page 1, page 2. Takes it just a second. And then we get to adjust the size for these, okay? So again, we just use that little chart. The width that was on that chart was 277, and then the height was 1875 for our 6x9. Um, unlock the ratio, by the way. There we go. So this will change. You can see where it's going to change our page 2, the back, and page 1, the front. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and choose. You can make sure on the left that you're good to go. Make sure this is PX for pixel. And then you can go ahead and get these to resize. Okay. And so once you're ready, go ahead and do that. It will process and give us our new files over here on the right. And download when you're ready. I'm not going to download all again. I don't want to waste time having to unzip a file. So we're just going to go ahead and download those here. Going to preview them really quick so we can get them renamed. Give me 2 shakes to do that. There we go. All right. And so now after our image resizer, we can close that and come back into our campaign. And again, on the left-hand side, just under the chart that tells you your measurements, you can go ahead and upload those templates. So we'll browse for the front, choose the front of our card, and browse for the back, and choose the back of our card. Click Save. And now over here on the right, you should have the previews that you can look at, front and back. And then just make sure all of your sections over here on the left have that green check mark before moving on to configuring. So we'll go to Market Center, and again, it's going to be that zip code. So let me grab that again. Click Verify, choose the address that it suggests, and confirm. And now we'll do our targeting. So right here for our targeting, let's look at what it looks like to target your database. Okay, so you can add contacts and it gives you this option. Now it's going to pull everybody from your database first. You can search by name, address, or neighborhood, or just come over to your tags and choose one of your tags. Give me just a second. I'm going to scroll down and get our class demo tag rather. There we go. You can choose more than one tag. And notice like right here for this particular person, we don't have a mailing address on file. And by the way, if there's not a mailing address on file, it will choose the primary address that you have on file for the person. This particular contact doesn't have either. So you'll see a little caution sign and you won't have the option to add them. Okay. So we can select all. We have some others that don't have addresses and add to campaign. Now, it shows your folks. You still have the option, like let's say that you added somebody by accident. So you can come and remove them if you need to. And it leaves us with six contacts that we're sending postcards to, and we click save. Now, when we go to budget, the quantity is already set because it's based on our database. So over here, you'll just want to choose whether you want it to go standard or first class. Then click save. Once you're good with that, click preview and payment. Say yes. Wait a couple of seconds. More than a couple of seconds. There it goes. It will give you a preview again for your template. You'll definitely want to eyeball it if it's a custom template, making sure you left enough bleed area. This is why I said leave the right-hand side open so it can add the addresses here for the contacts. And again, you can still view that larger preview if you want. Pop it out here on another tab and really get a good look at it. And then come back to your campaign and scroll down. And again, you'll have your order summary on the left. We did the 6x9 card to 6 people. And by the way, you don't have to choose multiple people. Let's say you make a birthday postcard and you just want to send it to one person. You can 100% send it just to one person. Okay. There's no minimum. And then over here, you would just enter your payment information and make the payment. And that's it, guys. That is direct mailers campaigns within your command. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And if you have any questions or comments at all, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll be happy to stay a few minutes and get those answered for you. And if you're watching this by recording, you can always reach out to us via email. And that email address is support@scottleroymarketing.com. And we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.